Welcome to my closet. This has been one of my most requested videos. Honestly, the reason I put it off for so long is that this is an area of my apartment that doesn't get a lot of light and it's very narrow. It's just logistically hard to film in. I'm gonna do the best I can, but apologies if it's not the easiest to see. So the closet is pretty much split into two. This side is mostly my partner's clothes, and this side is mostly my clothes. The top two shelves are mine, and the bottom two shelves are his. We share a lot of clothes. It's kind of a life hack. If you start dating someone who's around the same size as you, double your wardrobe. He's more like workwear, Americana. He had like a big raw denim phase. You know, I'm a little bit more kooky. I think the main comment that people say when they see my closet for the first time is they're surprised at how small it is, given how many outfits I put together. That's a combination of a few things. First of all, I wear things in the complete wrong way. I'll wear pants as a top. You know, I get a lot of versatility out of items, but it's also because I used to work at Buffalo Exchange. I worked there for 2 years, and that kind of got me in the flow of doing buy-sell trade, where I would buy clothes, and then when I wasn't wearing them anymore, or I wanted to refresh my wardrobe, I would take them back to Buffalo, Beacons, Crossroads, that type of thing, and then sell them for credit that I would use to buy more clothes. So I have like kind of a cyclical wardrobe. There are definitely things I've held on to for over 10 years. If I feel like things are getting stale or I just, you know, need a little refresh, then I'll go to Buffalo or Beacons. If I had to describe my wardrobe in one word, it would be eclectic. I think like just looking at it, you can see all these different textures and styles. You know, I just get bored, and I totally understand the appeal of having a cohesive wardrobe where everything goes together. You can just mix and match any piece on any given day. But for me, the best representation of my personality is a very wide variety of things. I like being able to put together wildly different looks depending on what my mood is. I like to see things that I'm drawn to and just buy them and not worry about like, is this gonna go with everything else in my wardrobe? Like, I'll make it work. So I think like most people looking at this wardrobe would expect that there's a lot of money tied up into this, and there is to an extent. You know, you have to keep in mind that this is decades of clothing collecting. Almost everything in my closet is secondhand. That's something that's really important to me, and also cost effective. I'm on a budget. Some things are handmade by me, like this skirt that I'm wearing right now. Some things were given to me as gifts. And then there's just a couple things that I bought at retail. I get everything from thrift stores, apps like Depop or The RealReal, consignment stores, or just passed down to me from my friends. Overall, like the retail price of everything in this wardrobe is pretty expensive. What I paid for it is just a tiny fraction of that. Also, I'm the kind of person who will wait for years. If there's something that I really want, but it's not at the price that I want to pay, I'll just set up that eBay alert and just sit on it and wait. One of my best finds for something very expensive that I bought for very cheap is I have a dress from the Row. This dress is over $1,000 if you bought it retail, and I got it for $100 at Buffalo Exchange. That's one of my best finds. But I have quite a few examples of that. I get very lucky. I have a couple Margiela things that I bought for $40 at Beacons. Almost everything I'm getting is kind of an insane deal, and I'm very lucky to live in a city where that's extremely common. And that's not only environmentally friendly and saves you a lot of money, but it helps you find really unique pieces. Like, that's why I love vintage so much, is because most of the time you're wearing something that is one of a kind, or, you know, at least very rare. You're not going to walk down the street and see someone else wearing it. And it has a story. Like, one of my all-time favorite pieces that I have is this Boy Scout jacket, and it has so many patches on it. Whoever owned it before me was a very dedicated scout, and I love how much history is in this one piece. This is one of my favorite pieces that I bought very recently. Christopher John Rogers is an amazing American designer and just did a collab with J. Crew, and when I saw this in the window in Soho, this is one of the times when I knew I had to buy something at retail. It was kind of my end of semester gift to myself. I just love the idea of a Carhartt, but glamorous, made out of gold lame. I feel like this sums up my personality perfectly. One of the pieces I have that may not seem the most exciting at first glance This is this Jill Sander top. Pretty much every time I wear it, someone asks me if it's on backwards. But it's this kind of beautiful blue gingham draped top. This is one of my most special pieces because I went into labor with my oldest son when I was wearing this. I did vomit on it. Sidebar, I have a very high pain tolerance, so I didn't realize that I was in labor, that it was just like slightly uncomfortable. And then I ended up getting very, very close to the wire in terms of making it to the hospital. Only 30 minutes to spare from when I made it to the hospital and he was born, wearing this top. It's a very special shirt to me. I'll keep it forever. I also have my tie collection. I have a very small tie collection compared to my friends. A couple of my friends have over 200 ties, which to me, you know, that's a problem. That's too many ties. But I have a good amount of ties. This is shared between me and my partner, and we probably have 40 ties. It's kind of a fun thing, but honestly, I only really wear like the same 5 ties over and over again. I just love a rep tie. Can't go wrong with it. That's kind of classic for me. The other day, someone I know told me that I go through shoes more than anyone he's ever met in his life. And that's true. I destroy a pair of shoes. I'm a real ass walker. And I will go through a pair of shoes like nobody's business. I'll run those things into the ground until my feet are touching the pavement. That's partially because I live pretty far away from the subway. I live about 25 minute walk from the subway. And then on the other side, when I have to walk to school, that's a 20-minute walk. Each way to and from school, I'm walking at least 40 minutes, 40 to 45. You know, I'm walking around all day, walking everywhere in New York. It's hard on a pair of shoes. I'm not like driving everywhere. I have these Balenciaga boots that I love. The zipper just fully came off and I don't really know how to fix that, so I've just been using the ring on my keys to zip myself in and out. Just some funny little odds and ends. I've always been obsessed with Where the Wild Things Are, and when I was in high school I made this metal crown so I could look like Max. This is a custom leather pauldron I had made. You know, it goes over your shoulder like this for when you're going into battle or just going grocery shopping. It's funny because the brand that I own the most of in my closet is... I don't think anyone will expect this. There's a mall brand from the 2000s called BB. B-E-B-E. I own a lot of BB. They make a lot of flattering clothes. I know it's like was fast fashion, but it's not to me anymore. I have a lot of really nice BB things. I have this amazing suit that's 3 pieces. It's like a belt, a dress, and a jacket. I have this like absolutely gorgeous romantic blouse that has buttons all the way up the sleeve, tweed dress. I have a vest somewhere and a pair of shoes and I think a scarf. Oh, and I have another dress too. It's funny because I think most people would assume I'm collecting a certain designer or something, but no, I just really like the 2000s mall clothes, honestly. Now, I did ask on Instagram if you guys had any questions that you wanted me to answer about my closet, so I thought we could get into that. Cecil Behar asked, largest piece of clothing you own? Largest is probably this big ball gown. You know, fur coats, those are pretty big. I have another red ball gown over here that also has a huge petticoat. I have a lot of pieces of clothing that make it a little difficult to get in the backseat of a car. Morgan Erin A. Morganarina asked, where do you like to get your clothes? I've actually made a really in-depth shopping guide for both women's wear and menswear in New York City. So I'll put the link to that in the description. But in New York, I love Beacon's Closet, particularly the one in Greenpoint. I love the Other People's Clothes on Marcy Avenue. Stella Dallas, also in Williamsburg. Front General Store and Crowley Vintage in Dumbo. And my friends at Alfargo's Marketplace, of course. Aunt F. Wank asked, any moth issues? If so, how do you prevent them from eating everything? I do have moths, and they have eaten a couple of my sweaters. I tried cedar, which is like the most recommended thing online for moths, and I don't know if it was just the sachets that I bought online, but I didn't have any success with that. What did work is getting these little sticky traps that you can hang on your closet rack. I haven't had any moth issues since then, but just as a precaution, I do keep my special sweaters, like my Tintin sweater, in plastic bins like this. Princess Princess asked, Oldest pieces that you wear regularly. I have quite a few pieces from high school that I still wear very often. I think this turtleneck is actually from middle school. If you find a good turtleneck, why get rid of it? It still fits. I've definitely had this top since high school. I used to be a big gunny sacks collector. I used to have probably about 20 dresses, tops, and skirts from gunny sacks. This is the only survivor. I love the poofy sleeves on this. That's why I can never let it go, is I love like a mutton chop poofy sleeve. I've also had these boots since high school. I'll never get rid of these. I bought these when I was in a Penny Lane phase, and I'll keep them forever. Another thing that I kept from high school is this gorgeous wool cape from Germany. It has these gorgeous silver coin buttons and a black velvet collar. Keeps you really warm in the winter. I guess another way of interpreting the oldest pieces that you wear regularly question is oldest as in antique. I'm not actually sure what the oldest piece in my closet is. This blouse is handmade lace. I think that this is from the early 1900s. So this might be the oldest piece chronologically in my wardrobe. Kata Ubak asked, which are your staple pieces, and can you show us the wigs too? In terms of staple pieces, I don't really have staple pieces, I would say, just because of the eclectic nature of my wardrobe. But I guess the closest thing I have to that, I would just say my most worn items are these faux leather knee-high boots. These just fit me perfectly and are really comfortable to walk around in all day. I would also say just having a great denim jacket. This is Helmut Lang Raw Denim 2001, has a matching pair of pants. This goes with anything. Over time, it's just gonna look better. And then I guess the real staple thing for me is striped shirts. I have about 5 striped button-down shirts. I would walk into stores and tell my friends stuff like, do not let me walk out of here with another striped button-down shirt because I don't need it, but I want it so bad because they go with everything. So 2 different people asked me what my thought process is when I'm picking out a look. So I thought I could walk you through how I get ready and what I'm thinking about when I'm selecting an outfit. Usually I'll just start with one statement piece that I kind of want to build the outfit around because I don't really have basics in my wardrobe. Kind of everything is a statement piece, so I'll just pick something whether appropriate or not. I recently got this silk organza. It's almost like a trench coat, so I'm going to choose this as my statement piece that I'm going to build everything around. It's white and transparent, so I kind of want something that's going to show through as the underlayer. So I think I'll go with this sparkly dress that I have. Again, BB. It's really form-fitting, and I think it'll stand out under the organza. And then because I'm kind of building this color palette that's white and gray, this scarf to go with it. And for shoes, I always choose shoes last. I could either go with these sparkly Calvin Klein heels or this more classic black pump, which I think I will go with for this. And then I'll just zhuzh it up with some accessories, and this is the outfit all together. I actually did switch into the sparkly shoes because I remembered I had on silver glitter nail polish on my toes and felt like a waste not to show it. This is how I would wear it to school if it was a warm day. If it was a little bit colder, I would put on a black wool overcoat. I added a bag. I keep my bags in a separate area from the closet because they take up a lot of space. But this is a cute little bag I got from Mage because of a modeling job I did for them. I decided to wear the scarf as a 1950s movie star head wrap thing because I wanted to show off the collar. And I felt like if I was wearing the scarf around my neck, you wouldn't get to see those details as much. But there's one outfit. I'll show you one more. I'll do more of a masculine look for the next one, so it's a little bit more of a balanced look at how I think about things when I'm putting it together. So yeah. So I still have the same thought process where I start with one piece and build the outfit around that. This time I'll start with this corduroy blazer. Corduroy has already kind of a collegiate, professorial vibe. So I kind of want to counter that with something a little bit more modern. I'm going to pull out a pair of jeans, go for a kind of ivy look, going with light wash, just because I think it looks better with this color of corduroy. For the tie, I think that green always looks good with corduroy and navy blue. I think that I'll do this green rep tie. I like to kind of build a color palette when I'm making an outfit. Because there's 4 colors in this tie, that makes it easy. For the rest of the outfit, like the outerwear, the shoes, I'm gonna try and pull from this tie so that it feels more cohesive. For the outerwear, I'll wear this barn coat that has a matching green corduroy cuff. That'll go nicely with the jacket and the tie. And then for shoes, I'll go with some dark red loafers that I have. And maybe a hat. You know, I like to be head to toe, so that either means a hat or a wig in most cases. I'm gonna put this together and I'll be right back. So here's look number 2. I realized I forgot to show the shirt that I was putting on. It's like, has a little tiny red and blue stripe on it. I just prefer striped shirts to plain white shirts, even if it's like kind of subtle. You know, I think it just adds a little bit extra. Bean bag that matches my barn coat, the loafers, jeans, corduroy. I think this is like a nice, easy Ivy look. A little bit Wes Anderson. That's a comment I get pretty frequently. It's a little bit matchy-matchy, especially with the bag and the coat. I'm not opposed to being matchy-matchy. For my menswear looks, I get a lot of inspiration from Japanese takes on Ivy, Popeye, Second Mag, all that stuff, and of course my friends who are very stylish. But yeah, I think that's all for the closet tour. I hope this has been at least somewhat interesting, and if you like what you saw and you want to see more, consider liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.